Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils Health Matters and Living the Wholesome Life. And we are on week 18, day 4 of our positive, peaceful growth affirmations. We are doing positive affirmations every day, Monday through Friday. And we're following Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive, Peaceful Growth Calendar, that you could buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. And if you love pairing essential oils with music therapy and with, I don't know if I said that right. If you love combining affirmations and music therapy and essential oils, then this is definitely the book for you. So it has an affirmation for the week and the affirmation for the day. And the affirmation for the week is everything is working out well for me. Oh, you know what? As I think about everything working out well for me, I think that sometimes the Lord's timing is, or often, the Lord's timing is different from our timing, right? And so just because things aren't working out in the time that we think they should be working out, doesn't mean that they really aren't working out perfectly for us. I loved this word. I learned this word, I'm going to say like almost 30 years ago, and it's serendipity. And it's where, and I could have the definition wrong, and I probably should have looked it up, but serendipity is just when things work out in a way that you didn't expect. Caleb, can you hold on just a minute? Caleb, look up the word serendipity for me really quick. Oh, you might want to you're definitely going to have to do your magic. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. So, anyway, serendipity. It's when things don't work out the way you expect, but they still work out. And so, if things aren't working out in the timing that you think they should be working out in, or things aren't working out perfectly, like, maybe that's it, each thing that happens to us has its own gift. Caleb?
An occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way.
So things that just kind of happen that are happy and beneficial. So, serendipity. So, anyway, I do think that everything is working out just perfectly for us. And although we might have hardships and we might have trials, we all have hardships and we all have trials, right? They teach us things. And so we can be thankful for them. And as we were talking about Spikenard yesterday, right, the oil of gratitude, how Spikenard helps us be thankful for our challenges, how challenges can make us more stronger, more, smarter, wiser, more compassionate. Anyway, so as we're going through this week, let's really open our eyes to see how things are working out, and maybe even go back and maybe even journal today about some things that we thought worked really, really bad, and they worked out perfectly for us. So I'll give you an example. So my husband, when he was 40, he decided to go back to law school. Which was the biggest blessing to our family, like honestly, the biggest blessing. And we had 8 children at the time. One of them was in college. We have 9 children now. Well, 9 living children. And so we love living in Utah. That's where, his family, most of his family is, where all of my family, my parents, my sister at the time, were all living in Utah. And so we applied to law schools in Utah, and we didn't get in. And at the time, it was crushing. It was like, we have to leave our family. We have to leave our communities, our friends, our networks that we've built up to go. And so then he applied to a lot of other law schools, and he got into a lot of other law schools, right? And he got this really good scholarship to a school, Bowen School of Law in Arkansas. So that's where we went, knowing nothing about the South, knowing nothing about Arkansas. And we got there, and it was the most incredible place. Oh my, it was so gorgeous. They have, I call it the land where the tall trees go, because it was just so incredibly gorgeous. And the water, like, we're from Utah, and from the West, right? It's so funny because when we're driving from the West to the East, we know when we kind of come into the West when the rivers are now dry, right? So Arkansas, it had an abundance of water. It's actually called, Little Rock is like this, I don't know if this is the official name, but it's kind of like the city of churches because there's so many churches in Little Rock. And the people, oh, I cannot say enough about the people in Arkansas. They were warm, they were embracing, they were friendly, they were just some of the best friends that we've made. And not only did we find Derek's, did he, go to law school and do well in it and pass the bar on his first try, right? But we also discovered the amazing power of essential oils in Little Rock, and we started our doTERRA business there. And so the gifts that we found in Little Rock couldn't be comprehended. Could not be comprehended. So I know you have things like that in your life where you think, oh, this is so devastating. This is so against what I want to go. And it's actually one of the biggest blessings of your lives. So maybe today, as we're journaling, we can write down some of those. And then also thank God, right? Thank our Heavenly Father that He knew what was better for us. We had a plan, and He knew what was better for us, and He guided us that way. So again, bringing in some of the Spikenard, bringing in some of the gratitude, and knowing that everything really is working out well for us, right? Okay, so that's the affirmation for the week, that everything is working out well for us. And the affirmation for today. Okay, I had to think about this one, and sometimes, I read you the affirmation that she has in the book, and then sometimes I tweak it, sometimes a little, sometimes big time. This is one that I think I'm going to tweak big time, and you can do your own meditating on this affirmation and see what you think. I'll give you the affirmation in the book, and then I will definitely give you my take on the affirmation. So the affirmation in the book is, I am accepting my virtues as they appear. And I had to think about that. I'm like, okay, so, and in my mind, I kind of quickly went to that virtues are kind of like any other gift. And I went to the gift of money. So, like, who wouldn't be happy? Who wouldn't be accepting of virtues? Oh, I had incredible patience today. Like, who wouldn't be happy for that? Or I was really friendly, or I was really kind, or really, really thrifty, or really, I don't know, any other virtue you can claim. Who doesn't want the virtues, right? And so I'm accepting of them. It's kind of like saying, I'm accepting of the money that people give me. I'm accepting of the presents that people give me at Christmas. And I know sometimes we don't get the exact presents that we want, but aren't we always thankful that someone thought of us, right? And so, anyway, to me, I'm like, well, why wouldn't we be accepting? Like, I don't feel like I really need to work on that aspect, that if I have a virtue and I recognize it, that, oh, I kind of have to accept that. So, and I might be taking this whole, I'm sure she had some other way of looking at things, right? But that's kind of the way I look at things. So I'm like, I obviously want more virtues to be showing up in my life. And I just don't think that virtues show up just like on their own without us having to do anything for them. It's kind of like, I don't think that people get to be good piano players on their own. Like, they don't just go to bed one night and then they wake up the next day and they're a concert pianist, right? And or 7 guys in my house, well, 7 sons. Well, they're not all in my house now, but anyway, like a lot of guys, they want muscles, right? So it's so funny that a lot of guys think that muscles totally impress girls, and I think that girls are really more impressed with kindness, compassion, and love, thoughtfulness. Anyway, but that said, muscles just don't appear out of nowhere. A healthy trim body just doesn't appear out of nowhere, right? And so, when I'm thinking about I'm accepting virtues as they appear in my life, I'm thinking, I don't want to just sit there and accept the virtues that I have. I don't. I want to run after the virtues that I want to get. I want to be intentional. I want to look at my game plan like a football player coach, right? Who's playing this big team, and they're like, okay, how did we fail up on the last game, right? Let's watch the game footage. Oh, where did we go wrong? What drills do we need to run? What ideas do we need to practice? Where do we need to practice? Where can we get our game plan so that next time we meet that team, boom, we're on the winning side, right? And that's where I want to be with virtues. I don't want to, hold on. Caleb, can you just make sure that our trash is out? Okay, you're sure? Okay, I just saw that the garbage truck was coming by, and I'm just like, did we get our trash out? My boys are so good about doing that most weeks. Anyway, but I don't want just the virtues that come into my life that might flow into my life naturally. No, I'm not. I want to be running after the virtues that I want. If I see that I was not patient with my husband or my children yesterday, I want to look at what happened, open my eyes, please, Heavenly Father, or open my eyes and let me see where I kind of bit the dust and where I need to improve my game, right? Level up my game. And so anyway, that's my take. So instead of repeating after myself the mantra, I'm accepting my virtues as they appear, I might say I'm celebrating my virtues as I see them. I might say I'm celebrating the virtues of other people. I'm naming them. I'm recognizing them, right? I'm doing shout outs on the virtues as I see. Okay, so that would be one thing. But the other thing is I'm running after the virtues. I'm being intentional about what virtues I am trying to bring into my life. I might even be using, do you have accountability partners? If you don't have accountability partners, best thing ever, right? So you just get a group of 2 or 3 friends, right? You can use one, but sometimes one doesn't work as well because one person might be off their game and not be a very good accountability partner that day. But if you have 2 or 3 accountability people in a group and you do the 10-10 texting where these are my goals for the day, and then at 10 o'clock in the morning, you text your goals for the day. And then at 10 o'clock at night, you text, did you meet your goals for the day? And then maybe throughout the day, if you want to, you can send some positive texts or just kind of reporting, hey, I did this, I'm moving on to my next challenge or whatever. If you don't have accountability partners, I think it's amazing for trying to get anything going in your life, whether you're trying to build a business, whether you're trying to do well in school, whether you are trying to have virtues come into your life. So that's my take on the affirmation for the day. Let's celebrate our virtues. Let's name our virtues. Let's run after the virtues that we want. Let's get the game plans. So I would tweak that to, instead of I am accepting virtues as they come into my life, I would tweak that as I am celebrating and running after virtues to bring more virtues into my life. Okay, so as we're talking virtues, I just wanted to say one other thing, and that was this. It's that you can almost think of everything in a virtue or a vice way. And let me give you some examples here. So let's say that someone is thrifty, like they're really good at saving their money. They're really good about getting their best value for their money, right? Well, someone could see them as thrifty, or someone could see them as like miserly, or being skinflinty if they're not getting what they want, right? Let's say that someone is just really, really friendly. Someone could see them as friendly, super kind, or they might see them as maybe too scattered, maybe easily drawn off task, maybe anyway. So I'm just saying, I think that you can almost name every virtue and change it to a vice. Let's other virtues aren't coming to my mind, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So and sometimes our virtues need just a little tweaking to turn it from a vice to a virtue. So and sometimes I think that people can also put us down for our virtues and use vice words for them if we're not being who they want us to be. So, like, let's just say that someone's very, very studious, or very, very studious, or let's even say that they're very committed to a certain path. Someone might say, "Oh, you're so not fun. You're so, I don't know, dull, whatever," something like that. All I'm saying is there's a lot that we can do when it comes to virtues and how we can think. Let's make sure that that we're not getting pulled off what we think is best and what we feel like God is telling us is best just because we aren't doing what maybe others in our life want us to do. For example, let's say that you have the virtue of really just not indulging in alcohol and drinking and partying, doing drugs, but some of your friends do, and they call you so old-fashioned or so goody two-shoes, right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to put your virtue down. Let's not be pulled off our course for anyone putting our virtue down. Now let's do a check-in with God. Like if we think we're a really strong worker and someone else thinks we're a workaholic, right? Well, then let's do a check-in with God. And let's say, God, am I neglecting things that I should be addressing in my life? Am I neglecting my family? Am I neglecting maybe my chores around the house? Am I neglecting whatever else to work? And if we do, then let's change, right? But let's not be pulled off our courses by what others are saying. Let's make sure we're doing a check-in in God and we're holding to what we feel like is the most true. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then sometimes we do need to tweak. Sometimes our virtues have become vices. Like maybe we really are a workaholic and we're neglecting the most important things in our lives for money. And so then we do need to tweak that and really come back to what's the most important in life. So anyway, lots of different ways to think about virtues. Maybe you're journaling today. Maybe you're journaling about things that you thought didn't go well but really turned out well. Maybe you're journaling about all your virtues. Like just take some time. Take half an hour, right? And or 10 minutes, whatever you can spare, and just write, these are some of my virtues in my life. These are some of my strong points, and celebrate those. Maybe what you want to do today is journal about the virtues that you want to bring in your life. This has been one of my weaknesses in my life, and this is what I want to bring it more into my life, and here's my game plan. Maybe you want to journal about that. Maybe you want to journal about some people who have put down what you feel is a virtue and made it more as a vice, like the goody two shoes thing. Maybe you want to journal about people who have helped you in your life develop your virtues. You had your role models, your heroes, the people that you're like, oh, I want more of that in my life, right? So definitely I love pairing journaling with any type of intentional work that we're doing. Okay, so that's the affirmation for today. And the I'm going to skip, well, the song that we're pairing for Everything is Working Out Me is Loving Life by the Jive Aces. And it basically, the lyrics are basically, I'm loving life and life is loving me. And who doesn't want to feel like that they're loved by life? We are all loved. We are all children of God, and we are all so loved by the creator of this world. We are so loved by the God of the universe, right? And so we are loved by life. We are loved by the God who gives life. And so just reminding us all of that. And I was thinking about, I often like to have a song for the whole week and then a song for the day. And when it comes to chasing virtues, there's two songs that come to my mind. They're both hymns. One is an old, I think it's a Quaker hymn, and it's the "'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where you ought to be, where we ought to be." Anyway, so it basically goes into things. Virtues are simple gifts that we give ourselves and God and those around us, right? And then the other hymn that I really thought of when it came to this affirmation of bringing more virtues into our life is More Holiness Give Me. More holiness give me, more striving within, more, I don't even know, but I remember more sorrow for sin. I remember that one. Anyway, so we all want to be more virtuous. Let's point out the virtues in ourselves. Let's recognize them. Let's celebrate them. Let's celebrate the virtues in others. And let's run after the virtues. Because I know that as children of God, we can develop any virtue that we want to develop. Okay, so that's the song for today and the affirmation for today. And then it's time to go into our diffuser blend. So you know the whole week we are diffusing 2 drops of Myrrh. That's really 2 drops of Myrrh. Sorry. 2 drops of Myrrh, which is the oil of mothering and nurturing. So if you need to feel mothered, if you need to feel nurtured, or if you need to up your mothering game or your nurturing game, Myrrh essential oil, so good to have. And then 2 drops of Spikenard. Again, that's the oil of gratitude. Being grateful for our blessings and our challenges. And then today, we are going to be diving deep into the 3rd oil in our blend, which is 2 drops of wild orange, which is the oil of abundance. And getting out my cheat sheet on all the things that I've learned about wild orange essential oil. Okay, so the first thing, there's so many gifts the wild orange gives us. Super happy to be talking about this one today. So the first thing that we need to know is that wild orange is a citrus oil. It comes from the peel. And so all citrus oils are uplifting oils. All citrus oils seem to kind of just release little rays of sunshine into the atmosphere, right? It's almost like you put out a citrus oil and honestly, it's almost like you've just created a sunny day in your home. So they are so good for winter months, especially for those people who experience sad seasonal, what is it? Something disorder, seasonal. Anyway, I think you guys know it. When people get sad when it's the winter months, when it's cloudy, when there's less sunshine in the sky. Seasonal affective disorder, is that right? Someone give me a shout out on that one. Okay, so I think it's called seasonal affective disorder. Anyway, okay, so all citrus oils are subtly energizing. So they're not going to be like your peppermint or your spearmint where if you put a drop on, you rub your hands together and you smell them, you're like, boom, I'm awake. Or you, like, your children can't get up in the morning, so you put a drop, you start diffusing peppermint or spearmint, and they're like, woo, I'm awake. Or you put it on the bottoms of your feet, or you on their spine, and they're like, boom, waking up, right? It's not like that. No, it is more like, oh, I have more energy. Wow, I was tired, but now I'm not really tired. What was the shift, right? It's just a very, very, very subtle energizer. Okay, so all citrus oils, they brighten your outlook, they lift your spirits. Wild orange, from everything that I've been able to study, is the most antidepressive oil. It's the oil that has the most power to lift, of the citrus oils, to lift your spirits. Again, and it's especially good for people who have that seasonal affective disorder. Okay, so a wild orange is super good to use when life is when you're feeling listless, depressed, when you feel like life is dreary or drab. It's also a very good oil to use. Okay, so that's the first gift of wild orange essential oil, is that it uplifts your spirits. Here's the second one, and I think it's a super important one. So the second gift of wild orange essential oil is, it's the oil of abundance, and it is super, super good to help with people who tend to suffer from jealousy. Now, I do think that there's things that can kind of hit different people in life that can exacerbate that quality of being jealous. For example, if there was a lot of comparison going on in your family when you were growing up, oh, this person's so amazing, why can't you be like this person? Oh, that person's so amazing, why can't you be like that person? That will probably exacerbate being jealous. Or if you've had a lot of betrayal in your life, right? Then you kind of from either way, if you've had a lot of betrayal or if you've had a lot of comparison, oh, why can't you be like this person? Then that leaves a lot of people feeling unsafe and a lot of people being jealous. And so the wild orange, which has the gift of gives us a gift of abundance, can remind us that there really is enough love for all of us. And just because someone gets something doesn't mean there's, whether it's an honor or more money or whatever it is, new clothes, who knows what people get jealous about. But there's probably a ton of things that people get jealous about. But just because a person gets that doesn't mean that there's not enough in life for us to have it too, right? Wild orange gives us the gift of reminding us that this world is abundant. I really think that God gave us everything in this world that we're going to need and a whole lot more. Like, I think he probably multiplied what we need in this world by 1,000,000. So it's here for us. It's here for us. We don't need to be fearful that whatever we need in our life is not here for us, because it is. Okay. It can help us release feelings of being resentful. So I thought it was very, very interesting as I was studying about wild orange, that wild orange, you know how I love Chinese medicine and Asian culture. So, well, in a lot of different cultures, but wild orange, people on the Chinese New Year, and I've never been to China, so I can't verify this, but they say that on the Chinese New Year, a lot of people give oranges because it's a emblem of prosperity and happiness. And they, as you're going into the new year, they want to give everyone the gift of greater prosperity and more happiness. I don't know. If you haven't had oranges in your house, I don't know. Why don't you try it? Why don't you see what oranges bring in? Why don't you see what wild orange diffusing brings into your space? It's great at helping people get out of their pity parties. It's great to get positive energy moving. So I wanted to almost just read you this sentence because I really, really love how it says. It's great for abundance and great for creativity. So if you're brainstorming and you want to bring more money into your life, wild orange would be great for both of them because it helps us get out of the scarcity mentality, and it helps us bring out the creative side. So if your children are having to do some creative project at school, if you are, well, how shall I redecorate my house? If how do I want to tweak things up? If you're in a mode of creativity, wild orange, diffusing wild orange, putting a few drops of wild orange in your water. Oh, Caleb, get me some orange or any other bottle that has the supplement facts on it. Anyway, so I just have to say that, hold on, I think Caleb's asleep. Caleb, okay, get me the wild orange, please. Anyway, so, I just told you that you can drink it in your water, and you totally can. But I would not say that you can do that for every essential oil, because you totally can't. Because not all essential oils are created the same, and I think that we all know that, right? doTERRA is the only oil that I would ever suggest ingesting because a third party tests every oil. When he gives me the oil, I will show you like the batch number on the bottom of each bottle of oil, because a third party test each batch, and you can look up your exact batch number and see every single test that has been done on them, and see all the results of the tests. And then essential oils, it's probably by our drinking glasses actually. We keep like the lemon, the lime, the wild orange, grapefruit, stuff like that. We keep that closer to our glasses in the kitchen just so that it's easier to put into our water. Anyway, but I'll show you the supplement facts as soon as he grabs me the bottle. Anyway, so the only oil I would ever suggest ingesting is wild orange. Is doTERRA essential oils, just because it didn't have to be exactly wild orange. Anyway, I think he's running down to get me wild orange. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'll come back to that later. So, it's great for when you're brainstorming. It's great for when you're doing anything to creative. Diffuse it, put it in your water. It's all good. Wild orange, because it's such a happy oil, it's kind of like the #1 oil to put into your diffuser when you're trying to sell your house, because, thank you, okay, wild orange. Anyway, so you can see on the bottom, it has your batch date, and then you can see the supplements. It's kind of like the supplements on your cereal box. It basically, any bottle of doTERRA oils, that has the supplement facts on them, you know you can ingest. Some oils aren't meant to be ingested, but a lot of them are. So if it has the supplement facts on the bottle of doTERRA oils, you know you can ingest it. Anyway, back to selling your house. If you're trying to sell your house, wild orange is the #1 oil to diffuse when you have people coming over, because it is such a happy, uplifting oil. And because it's the oil of abundance, who knows? Maybe you'll get a higher selling price on your house. Okay, this is how you blend wild orange. Okay, so remember how it's such a happy oil, and you know that almost everyone loves happy people around them. Like, happy people just kind of work well with most people, and they fit in well with most groups. Everyone loves a happy person, right? And that's kind of like wild orange. Like, wild orange blends well with really every single oil out there. And it just brings a sense of positivity, like an uplift to the blend, and it kind of helps your blend work a little bit better. So some people wouldn't think of blending wild orange with lavender or chamomile. Now, lavender and chamomile are very, very relaxing and sedative oils, but when you add a drop or two of wild orange to that blend, it's a happy relax, right? Not like a sad relax, but a happy relax, a happy peaceful. I kind kind of call it like the spa type of experience, relaxed and happy, right? Okay, if you blend it with peppermint or spearmint, right, those are going to be two energizing oils, and it's just going to bring, you're going to be energized and happy, right? So it's just going to blend well with almost every essential oil. Okay, another gift of wild orange is it brings us back to the happy playfulness that we had as children. As children, I think we all loved to play. And as adults, sometimes we can get a little overly serious, a little one-track minded, and we can lose the remembrance of how play is a virtue, how play gives us gifts, how pleasure can be a virtue too. And so if you kind of are like fun, and we don't need fun in our life, or we don't need excitement, we don't need pleasure, right? If you're one of those people, and I have to admit, sometimes I can be that way. Sometimes I can be like, no, let's do this. Doesn't it have to be fun? Let's just get it done, because work for work is kind of nice sometimes. Anyway, but so diffusing the wild orange, putting a few drops of wild orange in your water can remind us, no, fun has its virtues too. Pleasure has its virtues too. And all work and no play isn't really good for anyone. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, so wild orange, it can kind of just bring, we all have to do things that we don't want to do, right? And we all have to clean our rooms, and we all have to do our taxes as tax season is starting to come up. And we all have, to brush our teeth and do something like that. And we can all choose whether we're going to do things with a kind of a happy spirit, or do things more like or just being depressed and down in the dumps with everything, right? And wild orange kind of brings us out of that Eeyore state and reminds us that even when we're doing things that we don't want to do, we can still find joy in that. We can still find the gift, right? We can still do things with a happy spirit. So if you tend to have people that are a little grumpy in your life, wild orange, it might work wonders. Okay, so really quick, some of the other gifts of wild orange, some of the negative emotions that it can address is having a scarcity mindset, being overly serious, being rigid, dull, being a workaholic, having a lack of energy, and being discouraged, having the trait of hoarding things. So your house is always cluttered because I can't let that go, I might need it in 1,000 years. And being envious or jealous of people. It can help with those things. And what it can bring into us is helping us feel that life is abundant, having a sense of humor, developing a sense of humor, right? And being more playful, being more generous. I really think that as we are generous with others in our life, God is generous with us back. There's absolutely no way possible that we can ever outgive God. It's just not. As we bless His children, God will bless us. Anyway, being spontaneous, being creative, and being joyful. Wild orange. It has so many gifts to give. Little ray of sunshine, wild orange, has so many gifts to give. Abundant, wild orange has so many gifts to give us. Okay, so that's the emotional gifts of wild orange. We'll be talking about the physical gifts of myrrh and spikenard and wild orange tomorrow on Fridays. Fridays is always Physical Fridays, talking about the physical gifts. Reminding you that the affirmation for today is I am celebrating my virtues and running after them. I know it's a tweak, but that's my affirmation for today. And the affirmation for the whole week is everything is working out well for me. And it is. As we look back on our lives, we will see how God has turned everything that has happened to us to our good. I know we'll see it. Okay, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils Health Matters, living the wholesome life. telling you that I know you can make it a great day. Bye-bye.